Hi everyone, this is Blackbird Raven, and I'm going to be doing a deck profile today, and this deck profile is going to be of Battle Sisters. This is a deck I've really never played with before, but now that I've actually started to tinker with the deck, I may actually try to build this deck, because it is really fun, and with some of the newer cards, it's pretty damn consistent. So my starter is Battle Sister Waffle. What Waffle does is you counterblast one and send it to the soul and look at the top two cards of your deck. You select one Battle Sister among them and superior call it to the rear guard, and then that unit gets plus 2,000 power. Now, I don't know. Now, I play 4 heal triggers, 4 draw triggers, and 8 critical triggers. This starter lineup seems okay for now, because I'm really not an Oracle Think Tank player. I've literally only played one Oracle Think Tank deck in my entire Vanguarding experience, and that was Solus OTT for a short amount of time. So now we're gonna move on into the grade 1s. I played 2 copies of Battle Sister Coco. These might get turned into Battle Sister Lemonades. Lemonade is the Soul Blast 2 and Unflip 2, if I have a Battle Sister as my Vanguard. I mean, Coco does what I want her to do. Look at the top card of my deck, see if it's something I can use. Because it can be used to hunt for triggers, or also hunt for Battle Sisters that I may want to use for some of my later grade 3s or grade 4s. So, I'm still on the fence about that. These might end up becoming Lemonades. I don't know for sure yet. So next is 4 copies of Battle Sister Lollipop. What Battle Sister Lollipop does, it has a limit break. Oh, no, it doesn't have a limit break. It has an ability, if you have a Vanguard that has Battle Sister, if you have a Battle Sister Vanguard that needs limit break, you can be at 3 damage to use limit break. So, yes, I do have a limit break Vanguard in this deck. So that's very useful. Obvious for Battle Sister Chocolat, which is 4 perfect cards, and then 4 copies of Battle Sister Taffy. Now, I only have the sample images for these because the actual cards haven't been released yet, so I couldn't get the actual art that I wanted with these. But it's the basic 10k attacker, and the other option I had was Omelet, which is a 10k attacker if I have no cards in the soul. And I don't like Omelet, so I grabbed Taffy instead. God, now I'm making myself hungry. All this freaking food I keep mentioning. Oh, whatever. Now we're gonna move on into the grade 2s. Next is 3 copies of Battle Sister Macaron. What Macaron does is she's the 12k attacker. Very useful and standard. Next is 4 copies of Battle Sister Pudding. Battle Sister Pudding is actually, this was either going to be this or Battle Sister Marshmallow, but Marshmallow, this does more than Marshmallow. For those of you who don't know, Battle Sister Marshmallow, what she does is, if she hits your opponent's Vanguard and you have a Battle Sister as your Vanguard, you Soul Charge 1 and unflip 1 card in the damage zone. Now, what this card does is, if it hits your opponent's Vanguard and you have a Battle Sister as your Vanguard, you unflip 1 card in the damage zone, but give one of your rear guards plus 3,000 power. This is actually, I find, to be more useful than Marshmallow. Now, keep in mind, if I did get this skill wrong in my head, or if I just read it wrong on Hobby Store Shockwave, then please be my guest and correct me. So then we have 4 copies of Battle Sister Croquette. What Croquette does is, if this hits your opponent's Vanguard and you have a Battle Sister as your Vanguard, you counterblast 1 and look at the top card of your deck. And if the top card of your deck is a Battle Sister, you add it to your hand. So it's basically, a lot of times I use this as early to try to gain early game advantage. So now we're going to move on into the grade 3s. We have 4 copies of Battle Sister Monica. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Monica, but I feel like with Lollipop, she's a lot more effective. because if I have at least one copy of her in my hand, that's a +2 I can get the first time I hit grade 3. Because a lot of times they will push you 2 to 3 damage. They won't want to try to pressure your Vanguard. I know a lot of decks do try to pressure the Vanguard more. So this allows me to make full effect of Monika's ability. What Monika does is, if it has a limit break 4, which can also technically be limit break 3, if you have Battle Sister Lollipop, is you counterblast 1 and you discard a copy of Monika from your hand, and then you look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You pick 2 cards among them. I believe they have to be Battle Sisters, but you don't have to show them. But you get to add them into your hand. And this is not a one-time thing. You can just keep doing this as long as you have Monikas. And it also has an active ability of you can counterblast 2 to give it 5,000 power. So I find Monika to be very useful, and I feel like it does what Battle Sisters kind of wants to do. It was either going to be this or... Because I didn't want to play the other Grade 3 that was released, because I frankly think that one is terrible. So, next is 4 copies of Battle Sister Jelly. Battle Sister Jelly is the Legion for Battle Sisters, and it legions with Battle Sister Pudding. So what Battle Sister Jelly does is it has the Legion effect of you counterblast 3, and then you can draw 1 card from your deck equal to the number of Battle Sisters that is in your center column. So basically, if you have this, and a Battle Sister behind it, you draw... It's basically counterblast 3, draw 3. It also is a 23k attacker. It's a 23,000 attacker. So, Jelly is okay. I didn't want to play Parfait, because I know some people are going to say Parfait is better, but I feel like Jelly is a better card, because even though the skill is mediocre at best, the continuous strong attack, I feel, is better than Parfait, because Parfait's limit break is it gains 3,000 power, and if it hits, I draw a card. This still attacks for 23, and it also can give me guaranteed card advantage. That's what I'm trying to go with this deck, more guaranteed card advantage. That's also the reason I play Monika. I want to make this deck be able to have a lot of consistency, because this deck does have weaker units, and with a lot of decks now that tend to pick things off, I want to be able to restock my field or restock my hand as quickly as possible. So Parfait can give a maximum of 3 cards, like 2 for a drive check and 1 if it hits. This can give me a maximum of 5 cards in a turn, 3 from its ability and 2 from the drive check. So I feel like in general this card is better. So we're going to move on into the grade 4s now. I only play 4 grade 4s, which is, I don't remember this thing's name. It slips my mind, but it's the Oracle Think Tank grade 4. So this guy, basically, I either only use this guy in an emergency, and that's why I'm thinking of putting Battle Sister Lemonade in this deck. So even if I use this guy's skill, because of what he does, Lemonade can make it easier for me to bounce back from after using his ability. What this guy does is, when you stride, if you attack, and I believe he has to be boosted by an Oracle Think Tank. I do not know for sure. You counterblast 2 and look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You select 2 to add to your hand, and you put the other 2 at the bottom. So counterblast 2 plus 2. I don't want to play the other grade 4, because A, it would just waste my resources, and B, I think it's very mediocre. And also there's the fact of, so I'm going to tilt the camera up for this. Okay, so let's get into my reasoning for playing some of these cards. Now, I know some of you may ask why I'm not playing the, I think it's, Battle Sister, I don't remember what its name is, but it's the common Battle Sister that came out in Generation Stride. I don't like it. personally. I feel like it does what it wants to do, but I feel like there are better cards, like Monica, for example. I think Monica is a much better card. Now, that's just my personal opinion, and it's how I found in a bit of testing that I've done. So, I don't play that one because I find its abilities to be very lackluster. It has I believe its generation break is if it's a generation break of 2? No, it's a generation break of 1. And you can counterblast 1 and look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Select 1 to add to your hand, put 1 at the bottom. Now, that does seem good, but what I found with this deck is like with Gear Chronicle, Kairo, are the 2 main decks I've been seeing now. Because I occasionally see Battle Sisters using that new card, and I find that they want to draw more cards, so that's why the cards I play are Jelly and Monica. Because it has like an ability of when it's ridden, you counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1 to draw 1. So I'm like, eh. And you also have already had to use a Stride. See, how I've designed this deck is I want it to be early game card advantage, being able to get a complete field as quickly as possible. And then, if I need to, I can start a big guy like this to attempt to do a lot more damage a lot faster. So, I know this has been a longer deck profile, but I feel like it was necessary because of a lot of reasonings for cards that I'm playing. So, I've been your host, Blackblood Raven, and I will see you all in my next video.